beautiful looking as well. In my soaps, I use all natural colors and oxides as well as micas, and that creates the beautiful colors and effect in each batch. Each batch is completely unique and no two batches are alike. My soaps each have special recipes of olive, coconut, cocoa butter, shea butter, mango butter, castor oil, and a few others that make each bar creamy, thick with bubbles, and they don't get mushy in water. This makes for a really good hard bar that's long lasting. Along with all these oils, I've added essential oils, which make them very good for you too. Things like lavender or lemongrass, even things like activated charcoal added to the bars, very good for your skin. I've tried my hand at Renaissance fairs here in Florida and the outcome was amazing. People loved my product.
Don't forget to come out to the Florida Renaissance Festival at Quiet Waters Park on Powerline, February 7th through March 15th. And meet Taylor Ash in person, surrounded by all of her beautiful soaps. That's February 7th through March 15th.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Halley Elise Show, featuring your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise. She is an author, psychic, and media personality, and has been listed as one of the top 100 psychics in America. Empowerment psychic Halley Elise shares the spiritual, metaphysical, holistic, and magical powers of the universe. Follow Halley on her website at HalleyElise.com, and all her shows can be seen via live stream video. Now, here's your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm glad you could join me this evening. You know, they say that Mercury is out of retrograde. I don't believe it. There's a spillover period that runs like a couple to 3 weeks before and then afterwards. For some reason, I seem to be hitting it really well, running around like a crazy woman, trying to get all these things done between the office and being at the Renaissance Festival, which, by the way, is still continuing through March 15th on the weekends. And I've got a little gift for you guys, so definitely pay attention here in a moment. But to get back to what I was saying as far as that whole Mercury in retrograde, it's kind of funny because I really don't pay attention to the astrological things. I mean, I listen, and I have friends that are amazing astrologers, and they're always Johnny on the spot. But I kind of go with what it feels like. And it's just been hysterical. You know, run 5 steps forward, run 4 steps back. I moved my residence recently, and actually last month. And they're just now getting the internet set up. Not that they haven't been out, not that they haven't tried. And it's really very interesting because each person who comes out is a supervisor. And each person says, oh, well, we fixed that, and we fixed this, and we fixed that. And they haven't a clue as to what the problem is. This afternoon before I came in, I got a call from the most recent supervisor who said, well, we checked, and you're actually getting a better signal than before. So we don't understand why there's a problem. Now, I always tease about blowing things out, and it's usually a joke here at the station. When I leave, there's weird stuff that goes on for about an hour after. But at home, typically, as long as I stay away from the computer, the internet works. Nope. Hasn't been working. So it's been interesting, but it's not just that. It's communication, talking with people, having them actually understand what you're saying, or sending an email and having it get through. Or better yet, I was meeting somebody the other evening and sent him a message and got no response. And I thought, that's weird, because normally he responds right away. So I go ahead and I send another message. Nothing. I call and I actually leave a voicemail. So think about this. Send 2 text messages and left a voicemail. Nothing. I get a phone call about half an hour, 45 minutes later saying, hey, thought you were going to get back to me. I said, what do you mean? I sent you 2 text messages and left you a voice message. Nope, got nothing. So just the way of the world. What can I tell you? But you know what? You have to laugh at this stuff. Makes me a little nuts. And I was actually having a conversation with my producer earlier about certain things as far as schedules. They have to kind of have a continuity. Otherwise, it doesn't throw me off so much as far as making changes, but it throws me off as far as what my time allotment is. And I'm sure a lot of you are like that. Actually, I think most of you are probably a little bit more strict or linear in your thinking when it comes to that. For me, I kind of go with the flow. All right. I say, oh, here's an opening, there's an opening. And as far as time, not so great on time. I mean, I make it to my appointments on time. When I'm officiating a wedding, I'm there on time. Funerals too, believe it or not. But other things like, going to dinner and what have you, and I've mentioned this before on the show, not always in sync. But if I schedule someone, let's say, to come into the office, if I'm not going to make it, I am Johnny on the spot about calling and letting them know, like if there's traffic that's backed up or what have you. Or if I schedule something with a guest to come on, this is what happened this evening. A guest was scheduled, and due to some wackiness, they were unable to be here this evening. So they'll actually be here not next week, but the following week. And I'm not even going to share who it is. I'm just going to say somebody amazing, and you'll definitely enjoy. And if you're thinking in terms of, wait, is this real or is this recorded? No, this evening's show is real because I know the last show or two has been recorded. Lots of craziness going on, trying to get it all done. I do want to remind everybody that we have the Psychic Gallery the first Monday of the month, and I believe that's next week. I think it's the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. Monday the 2nd, I believe so. So you might want to check that out. Also, if you're listening, I was saying a couple of moments ago, that I have something special. I have a pair of tickets to the Florida Renaissance Festival, which is taking place on the weekends between now and March 15th. The entry, I believe, is around $21 per person. So it's, $42 value, give or take. So if you'd like to get a free pair of tickets, be the third caller, and Kenny will let me know that you are the third caller, and you will get the tickets. How's that? So once again, if you'd like to win tickets, now's the time, be the third caller. The phone number is 888-565-1470. That's 888-565-1470. Now we'll see if anybody calls. It's very funny how sometimes, you share information and they're like, oh, no, I'll get to it later. And then they don't get in touch and they'll call, believe it or not, the next day and go, hey, do you still have those tickets? Who won? Or I want to get something. So it's kind of funny. Anyways, one more time, the phone number, 888-565-1470. Now, I want to share a couple of things. There's how do I phrase this? There's a couple of things that I want to share simply because it's in the community's interest, not specifically holistic or specifically spiritual, but when I have a good experience, I'd like to share that. When I've had a bad experience, I'd like to share that simply because I'd like to let other people know. It's kind of like a rating system, if you will, if you were to go on Yelp. Oh, speaking of, I'm going to divert my attention for a moment. I've been on Yelp for quite a while. And I was wondering why a lot of the people that left comments as far as their experiences weren't able to leave their information for more than a day. Like it would pop up on the site and then would disappear. So I spoke with a Yelp expert the other day, and they said that it's not a matter of content so much, that their filter is not putting it up, but more a matter of how interactive somebody is on Yelp. So my point, if you are sharing some commentary, good or bad, about me, anybody really, on Yelp, and wondering how come it's not showing up, or it's there and then it's not there, it may simply be that you've not had enough activity on Yelp. And what does that mean? That means leave information for more than one person. That means visit more than one person or more than one business on Yelp. And then you have a better shot at your information showing up. Just a little tidbit, because I thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, so I'm going to do full circle. And you've heard me say this before. And I go 360, and I start here, and then I end up back in the same place. As to things that are good, things that aren't good. Oh, it's so funny. I'm listening to Kenny in the other room taking the phone calls. We've actually got quite a few coming in. Yay, love that. So somebody's going to win shortly. He'll be banging on the window soon to let me know. Getting back on track here. I, as I mentioned, recently moved, and it was interesting because it was one of these weird things. There was a date that I was supposed to move, and then, Mercury in retrograde again. Things got switched around like 3-4 times, and people I was going to have move me went with somebody else. And I found these folks on the internet, and 24 Moving is the name. I didn't have a good experience. Just so that you know, and I'm not going to go into all of the details, I will say that their salesperson initially was lovely on the phone, telling me about, and stressing, let me put it this way, stressing how professional their employees were. And then the employees came out, and they were very pleasant, very attractive too, very strong. They were very capable of doing things, but there were things that went awry that should not have. So I am sharing my experience, and if you want to know specifics, you can inbox me on Facebook or send me an email, and I'd be happy to share that. But it's not a matter of defaming anyone, and this is quite interesting. Actually, when I called and spoke with the representative, I actually told them that I might share the information on WNN, and the man said, "What? Are you telling me that you're going to slander us on, in the public eye?" And I said, "Absolutely not. It's not my intention to slander anybody, but I will be honest and I will share information." So 24 Moving, they have a sub name as well. But again, if you want more information, contact me privately. I'll go ahead and share that with you. On another note, Pellegrinos in Boca Raton on Federal Highway. I had eaten there once before, and the service was phenomenal and the food was phenomenal. Not so much this time. And they're a high-ticket restaurant. It's not like a 1-star or 2-star. They're held at a higher caliber. So I'm just going to say, be aware. That's all. My personal experience wasn't all that grand. Doesn't mean yours won't be, but I'm sharing. On a much, much better note, beautiful little consignment store, actually not so little either, on Federal Highway, so east end of Boca, called, let me think for just a moment, Serendipity. I should remember that. That's actually one of the names of one of my animals, but that's another story too. Ladies in there, absolutely fabulous. The owner was tremendous. I was in the shop last week and somehow locked my keys in my vehicle. And I don't think I've done that since I was a kid, maybe 16, 17. And the funny thing is, with modern technology being what it is, those phone numbers that normally used to be there, 100 more phone numbers, not so much. So the one number that I remembered was of a friend who lived down the street, and contacted them, and they were unable to help me. And then I realized, oh, that's right, I have car service. So all I can do is, I can call the company type thing. Couldn't think of the name of or the phone number of the company. This gal went above and beyond. She went ahead and contacted them, let me use her phone. At one point, she answered the phone, Halley's service. Anyways, we're going to take a fast break, and we'll come back, see if we have a winner for those Renaissance Festival tickets. Hey, thank you, and I'll see you in a moment.
Wow, this looks really great. Oh, gosh, I've got to stop talking to myself. The Psychic Gallery on the first Monday of every month, 7:30 p.m., here in Boca Raton. De-stress, connect with intuitive abilities, laugh, learn about psychic phenomena, and get psychic messages? Psychic messages? Woo! Where's the price? Here it is. Only $25 at the door? Awesome! How do I sign up? Oh, easy. Go to HalleyElise.com. Nice. $5 off online? Oh, I've got to call the girls and tell them about the Psychic Gallery on the first Monday of the month. Great time! 7:30 p.m. Perfect. Have to remember HalleyElise.com for the Psychic Gallery.
You're listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, and she invites you to visit her website for more information about all that she does at HalleyElise.com. Now, back to your host, Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
Hello, everyone. I mentioned before the break a little shop called Serendipity. It's a consignment store. Beautiful, beautiful things. The owner, Nancy, is amazing. Her staff is amazing. And you can go and find some beautiful pieces if you like things that are unusual, that are priced moderately, and yet are quality, worthwhile taking a look. So I picked up some really lovely accessory items that were very unique, and I was very happy. And as I mentioned, she helped me out when I locked my keys in my car, so it was a good thing. All right, then. So everybody want to know who won free tickets to the Renaissance Festival? It's Catalina. And you may remember her, actually. She is the author of The Bridge of Deaths. As well, she has a new book out. She has a series that she's in the process of writing. So you definitely want to take a look at her online. Just, I believe you can type in thebridgeofdeaths.com if I'm not mistaken. And if not, look on Facebook or contact me privately. But Catalina, congratulations, you have tickets. We'll touch base and you can let me know when you want to come into the fair, and I will leave your tickets at will call. So you have 2 tickets. Isn't that nice? Yay! Nice savings, and it's fun. And the fair this year is amazing. Speaking of which, I want to let you folks know that if you come in, I am right across from the crown stage. Well, like within a booth or so, meaning you can't miss me. If you're at the crown stage and you turn around, I have a lavender tent. Nobody else has a lavender tent. Sticking with that purple theme. If you've been to the office or you've seen my business cards, you'll know there's a lot of purple going on. So anyways, we have a wonderful staff this year. I've got the lovely Lady Dale, who's doing mediumship and also doing tarot cards. I have the beautiful, if you will, newbie and yet very gifted Lady Jane. She's working with angel transmissions through the vehicle of angel cards. And I'm doing just straight readings, tapping into that universal awareness. You know, some folks like to refer to it as the Akashic record. I just think in terms of mass consciousness of all of creation. As well, I'm working with the Egyptian cartomancy. So we've got a lot of different things going on. If you want to come out, you know, make sure you say, hey, I heard your information on the radio, or we're here because of. If you do that, I may even have a little gift for you. So I'm going to let you remember that, mention. You have to mention it to me, though, because my staff won't know what you're talking about. I probably should let them in on it, huh? I think I can do that. Anyways, remember that the Florida Renaissance Festival is ongoing through March 15th on the weekends. Initially, we were there for President's Day and the first weekend, which was the weekend of the 7th. We also were there on Monday because we did like a school day, and that was kind of cool to have all the kids come out, and a lot of them had a lot of fun. And not too many of them called me a witch this year, so I was very pleased. I'm teasing about that, but I'm serious too. I'll share something that's kind of cute with you. There is a gal, and I'll give her a little plug too because she's lovely. The Broom Closet. She makes these wonderful handmade brooms, the type that you would see really in like a Hansel and Gretel type of story. I mean, just absolutely beautiful and all handmade. And she has very unique items, anything from sage to crystals to goddess figures, etc. And she had these unique handmade witches that were cute and very kitschy looking, you know, with smiles on them and their little cats and little things. And I guess they weren't juried in for her particular tent. So it came down that she had to remove them. I said, okay, it's a shame because they're adorable, but you know, it happens. So she said to me, oh, you know what? This would be really great over at your tent. And I thought, yeah, they would be really cute. And I thought that for a moment. And then I realized, nope, not a good idea. People already walk by and go, witch, bruja. And I laugh and I smile and I go, okay, meaning I don't take offense. A lot of folks are very, if you will, staunch in their religious beliefs and take for granted that everybody has intuition, and often say, if you are using that type of ability, then there must be something wrong. The irony there is prophets run all the way through all of the biblical texts, no matter what religion that you ascribe to. So that's kind of funny. But so I said no thank you to having little witches sitting in the tent. They would have been adorable, but didn't seem like a wise idea. So there you go. In the interim, we were so busy this past weekend. It was incredible, truly. And at one point, I said to the gal who's up front helping us, I said, you know, there are moments that I need a break. I need to get a glass of water. I need to run to the little privy. So she just laughed at me and she said, we have 2 more people. I don't know if that's good or not. No, I'm teasing. It's great. I love the interaction with everybody. And I've had some really, really terrific people come out. And there's been a few that really touched my heart. You know, there was some things going on with them that came up in their reading. And it's interesting because the readings we're doing are only 12 minutes or 20 minutes. You know, they're short because it's more of an introductory type of situation at the fair. You can't really do a private reading for an hour when there's all that going on and so many people waiting in line. But as I said, a few of them really were just amazing. Things came up that were very private for them, as well as an answer as to the direction to handle it and to move forward in their life. And I think that's so important. There was a lot of funny stuff too, in respect to, you know, young girls who had several different guys, or guys who were looking to get engaged but were still holding on to their previous girl. It's amazing how much of that goes on. Not a judgment, just an observation. I don't know. Life is getting more and more interesting. I was chatting with a client today. Matter of fact, she couldn't make it out to the festival, and she phoned and said that she's been running into a lot of people who send her resumes, and they're written like text messages. Hey, not dear Miss or Mr., but hey is the salutation. And then lowercase letters. Things are abbreviated, such as PLS instead of please. Really kind of fascinating, the trend and just the direction things are going in. And perhaps I'm old-fashioned, or perhaps I'm old. I guess it depends on who you talk to. I have to say, I actually like the formality of the written letter. I like the idea of showing that you have a vocabulary that can be used. I like that someone can stand out because they took a moment to be a bit more succinct, to be professional. And what I'm finding is a lot of folks that are in the corporate world still expect that. So if you're looking to walk into somewhere wearing shorts and flip-flops and carrying your cat with you, probably not a good idea. And you think I'm joking about the cat? There was someone who shared with me not that long ago, an individual who had come in, and they literally brought their cat with them. And when the interviewer asked why, the kid said he was nervous, but his cat made him feel more calm. Swear it's the truth. So that brings me to my typical, which is breathe. Truly, a good deep breath goes a long way. And this is something that I also find very interesting. I usually start a reading by asking the person sitting next to me or in front of me to please take a couple of deep breaths. And the breaths usually are something like this. That's not a deep breath. It really is. That does nothing for your system. That does not oxygenate. That does not connect you with the divine. That's barely a breath. When somebody says take a deep breath, and you might want to practice this for yourself, even if it's only 3 a day, do this. Go. Literally breathe in. Slow it down. Take a deep breath. Take a moment that is just about you, not where you are trying to abbreviate something or tap into something or run ahead. You know, we're also very busy. And I tease about the shift in technology advancements and about how there's such a vast change in, let's say, the last 10, 20 years. But really and truly, it's okay to sit down for a moment and have dinner with your family and turn everything off. It's okay to stop in the middle of something and take a deep breath. Even at the fair, I was watching some of the people and they were overwhelmed. Really, they were on overwhelm. Here, they now serve beer at 10 a.m. Isn't that interesting? On a Sunday. The laws changed, I guess, a couple of years ago. So the pub yells, have your morning beer. And people run like flies to honey, or bees to honey. Amazing. Point being, they're inebriated before they take their first step. And then there's all of this excitement around them. There's all these shows and all of these sounds and smells and textural things, because everywhere you go, you can reach out and touch a sculpture or an animal or a garment or just even the dirt beneath your feet because we're in the park, and the leaves and the trees. It's sensory overload. If you're in the fair or you're at a fair and there's a lot going on, it's really good to take just a moment and breathe. You know, just stop and take a deep breath. I always recommend at least 3, but if you get one good one in, that's okay. It's fascinating how something so simple can truly make a difference in your world. If you're having trouble sleeping, breathe. And everybody goes, oh, come on, you know, that's silly. It's not a big deal, but it really is. Sit on the edge of your bed and just take a few moments and do nothing but breathe. Listen to the sound of your own breath. We take for granted sometimes the most basic of things. I moved, and one of the things that had been missing in my previous residence that I have always had in the past was a yard or a place to garden. And for me, that's heaven. Going outside, sticking my hands in the dirt, playing with the plants, talking to the animals, playing with the animals. Seriously, it's kind of fun. Not having that, I can go into that space, you know, in my mind's eye and connect with it there. So if you don't have the ability to go out in nature, or you don't have the ability to slow things down, just take a moment. Sometimes that's all that's needed. You figure it this way. There are 60 minutes in an hour. If you take 1 minute, let's say 8 times a day, that's only 8 minutes out of your day. And if you do it for 8 hours in a row, each hour you're giving yourself a little mini vacation. You're just stopping, you're getting still, you're getting quiet, you're going within, and you're breathing. And what you will find is that your skills sharpen. It's amazing, truly. You have a gift for yourself. Thanks for tuning in, folks. If you're at the fair, stop by for a reading, stop by to say hello. It's the Mysteries by Halley Elise tent, and you can always contact me on Facebook or on the web at halleyelise.com. Have a great week. Remember, next week, the Psychic Gallery. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.